Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's 16:42 here at Southern California. The date is July 2nd, I believe, or 3rd. I don't know. Not too sure. And I believe the year is 2021. I don't know. So great. Now you can't pin me down. You don't know when I'm recording, where I'm recording from, who am I, what my name is. That's because I'll literally be playing the devil's advocate today. Tonight, I'll be your entertainment and I'll defend evil. Before I begin, again, a disclaimer, and this disclaimer will be self referential, it'll come into play. I'm not responsible for anyone's action, don't misconstrue idea. This is chiefly for entertainment as a purpose only to spark intellectual and curious and philosophical creative debate. I'm not responsible for action. And yes, I believe in all races, the equality of all races, and diversity of all race, gender, and religion. And I don't believe no race is superior than another. That's one of the worst thing and the lowest consciousness you can live in, where you think you somehow, just because of your skin color, you're some superior than any other human being. Uh, Again, I also don't like Nietzsche, but that's a personal opinion. So don't do weird shit. Don't go on fucking blaming me for that shit. So then that's legal talk. Fucking yeah. Just don't break your laws or local laws, and I do not condone any violence. And respect all laws, and just use your fucking common sense, bitches. Having said that, this entire video is gonna be one whole fucking big Godwin's thread. As you know, Godwin's thread is any thread that whittles down and to like any mention reference of Hitler. It's like you can be fucking talking about anything, like a meme of Harambe. Fucking two people would fucking start bickering and muscling at each other, and pretty soon it'll end there. People will start talking about Hitler. Oh, so suppose Hitler. And funny thing is, again, Holocaust was one of the most brutal things that happened in history. And I'm not trying to be insensitive to the victims. And who knows, maybe it's too soon, even after so many years. So why defending Hitler? Or it could have been any other evil person of your choice. Mussolini, Stalin, or whoever you don't like. Putin, fucking Trump, Idi Amin, Pol Pot, all the big ones, the heavy movers and shakers. Literally, the heavy one. The heavyweights. Okay, so defending Hitler. What did he actually do? What crime did he do? You're like, what do you mean? Did he actually force, like, did you actually see him carry a weapon of any kind and attack someone directly in front of you, as a live with you in flesh happening before you live? Did you? No one saw that, basically, but we assume, reading from the text and history, that Hitler is this evil, heinous, evil guy, as he was. It's almost like the disclaimer. Why is it that every time we talk about these topics, we have to give a disclaimer? Like legal people, like people give legal disclaimer. If you're a medical practitioner, you have to give this some the disclaimer that you're not some quack medical, peddling some cure of uh, rashes with, I don't know, jelly bean made out of fucking saliva from bats or something. Okay, whatever. Yeah. So Hitler, no one forced people to kill. They killed people directly or shoot someone. It was people, the lowest people, who were following the chain of commands, right? Hitler was just the top of the pyramid, the sort of, and same goes for mafia bosses. Same goes for, if and it's a sensitive. It may be sensitive to some of you Findies out there, but what about Trump? It's like almost ideas are dangerous. It's like almost you cannot spout and propagate any ideas. And if even same here on YouTube, we have a disclaimer. We have to give disclaimer. Why is it that ideas are so considered dangerous? It's like I don't have to. It's like even if you influence someone, mass people, just with your idea, you are considered the devil. Why is that? Hitler never physically took a rock or sharp object or a gun or a bomb and hit that button, or like press that button, or like took a swipe at it with someone with a battle axe. He didn't do any of these things. All he did was intimidate. And this isn't this again. I'm not no Hollywood. Oh, sorry, Hollywood. World War II to expert. I'm not a historian. I don't have any credential of an expert. So from my limited point of understanding, Hitler never, unless he did some crimes that we don't know about. Fucking Valkyrie, I don't know. What was Valkyrie about? I'm so stoned, I don't even remember. I was so stoned in my last 10 years of my life, I don't even remember what Valkyrie was all about. All I know is Tom Cruise was wearing this eye patch. So Hitler never committed a crime directly, right? So why is he? It's like if you infect someone with a very dangerous, malicious idea, and which riddles are even to modern day, which is says brutal and heinous crime from a Klansman or what do you call those neo-Nazis. Why is that? Why is this, these people are motivated, even ideological, even such as ISIS or Islamic terrorists? There is all. If you think about it, it's a very abstract notion that we are fighting a very abstract battle here, ideological battle. Everything, even from legal perspective, sociological, economic. It's like no longer. It's not what people like Candace Owens and Dave Rubin proved. It's not about what. It doesn't matter what your sexuality is, your gender is, or your race is. Ultimately, it's all about ideology. If you're in the right side of the ideology or you're not. So from, and we started with the assumption, the base axiom that yeah, ideologically speaking, what Hitler did was he did not he deserves worse than death penalty. Same with Bin Laden, and I'm sorry it offends someone or if I'm crossing the limit here, crossing the line. And I don't want to, I don't condone these kind of actions. And this is chiefly for philosophical discussion. These people, did they ever kill someone personally? Isn't the person who commits brutal crime in the street and the back alley at a supermarket, isn't he the most war? Isn't he 10 times, million times, zillion times worse than the person who spouts just ideas? Ultimately, the responsibility is upon you, Your Honor, judge, jury, and executioner. No one can force you to do something that you don't want to do. That's why it's one could pretty much argue it's victim mentality. Just like empaths bicker and bitch about feeling guilty, but it's you are the one who's feeling guilty, and it's because virtue of your habit, because we're empathic creatures. But are we really, really, really at the bottom? We're really empaths and not nothing but all empaths, all loving. And what do you even mean by all is love? God is love. But I'm veering off topic here. So Hitler, was it true Hitler was a vegetarian? Yeah, I think so. I didn't even read his biography. I didn't. I know all I know. Like he was a failed artist and he committed suicide. And in the middle, he left a very bad biological, socio-economic, brutal footprint. We call it like historical footprint and a footnote. Probably bigger than footnote. It's one of the worst crimes in history, Holocaust. And it's very easy to point to one man. So, and that's what people don't get when you like the limitations of language. It's very easy to go to a computer and type Hitler, Hitler, just 6 letters, and suddenly that evokes all these emotions in us, just like the N word. But ultimately, it's a very complex thing. The reality, life outside, everything, and it's an interplay because, especially of nowadays, because of social media, it feeds upon you. It's like a Klein bottle. It's like it's a self-eating, sort of like this squid or octopus. This is eating itself up and it's coming out of its own anus and giving birth. So okay, pot talk aside, uh, um, yeah. So that's the thing. That's my ultimate crux of my legal thesis argument that Hitler did not personally kill anyone, right? Nor did any other so-called brutal dictators or terrorists in history. Or like again, I'm not Attila the Hun or well, Attila the Hun. Yeah, see, we think Hitler is same as Attila the Hun, whereas Attila the Hun, I think personally did kill, like left and right. He slashed people, right? He whacked people. Fucking went all. What's that guy's name? Anton Fuqua, the director of Training Day. I think he wanted to make a video, like give a thug life flavor to it. I think, and then he came up with Ridley Scott in something. Never mind. So people like that, And so we don't judge. We call them great, Alexander the Great, and the kings, and and then the conquerors. Like, but those people, even Muhammad, and that's Muhammad is not so popular among the New Age religion, just like Buddhism, Eastern religions, because like those people literally killed other people. If that's the case, why is then? But on the other hand, we look down upon people who killed other people. But we have, what about the military? It's like war, crusades, battle. How many people does it need to unite and take go up in arms and attack someone before it's normalized? So killing people in battle is just an accepted form of murder, right? What was Hitler's crime? What is he charged with? And it's funny, if he was alive, I don't know, but the tribunals, the tribunals, Holocaust, like those crime tribunal, Nazi tribunals. But I'm sure there were a lot of people out there, like Goebbels and SS officers, um, who it's like a whole cadre. It's this whole organization that's responsible, just like mafia. But the top people, they're only calling all the shots. They're not doing anything. It's the soldiers who are doing anything. It's almost like Amazon. Amazon. I'm not comparing Amazon to mafiosos, but it's almost like the top boss is getting richer and richer while the soldiers are doing all the hard work and like whittling away. And probably Amazon will never hire me after this. Just kidding, Amazon. We love you. Amazon, go Amazon Prime. Fucking. Yeah. Go and get that Velociraptor statue that you have been waiting for. What the fuck? I don't know. The velodrome. The velocipede. I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking. Again, there's a pot talking again in me. So why should, or even forget Hitler? What about evil? The most devil, like literal devil. He was archangel. He was the archangel, right? So he was almost the king of saint of, almost the saintly angel of all. And then he vowed, from if you consider from biblical uh, standpoint, a metaphysical point of view, and that's how there was duality. Everything was united, and then after he took the vow that he'll. That's what I know from Islam, and I'm sure Abraham religion. There are some subtle nuances and subtle differences, but basically, the guy wanted to deceive mankind. Satan wanted to deceive mankind and lead to ashtray, and you want to be the savior, and you want to not go to hell, and that's a very dual, rigid way of thinking. So, would ultimate evil, if we believe in Satan, would Satan finally be forgiven by God? Would Satan finally, if you're in the God's tribunal court, international crime court, like tribunal, could devil get away after committing all this murder, mayhem, rape, genocide, fucking terrorism, fucking all this nasties, cannibalism, disgusting, shitty things you can think of, fucking feces, forcing other people to eat feces, crime against humanity, fucking child molesting, child trafficking, all these disgusting things. And would he, after that, would he go away scot free? Would Satan go away scot free? Forget about Hitler. I mean, that's Neil Donald Walsh stuff level. We're talking about where Hitler would go to heaven. I'm gonna hammer and like hammer it in until everyone. It's like it becomes a meme, where Neil Donald Walsh meme. No, but that stood out, and it's gonna stand out every time you read Conversations with God. And I do believe it's not unlikely that Neil Donald Walsh did not have conversation with God, like with higher self, whatever God you want to, whatever godness you want to ascribe to God. So yeah, could evil go away scot free? Any evil. But the thing is, ultimately, that's very Christian, Western Judeo-Christian way of thinking. Like this court, we have a court. But what if life itself, reality itself, was the court? And like that's why Hindus have advanced knowledge of mayas and concept of cyclical time and how karma works. Like no one gets away scot free. Like I have so many stories of karma in my own case, where I'll do something and immediately get a feedback. Maybe that's my interpretation, but who knows? Probably veridically, that is also the case, like objectively. So yeah, karma, probably these people. And what I personally believe, if you were to ask me, forget about defending this fuckhead. I think it's a tortured soul, and they after we die, they go to this place, and it's almost like a hell because of the torture self, unless they come to terms with their own actions and the soul. And it's very. I can just say he came into terms with his actions. Hitler. I can say that in 3 seconds, but it takes a lifetime for people to do that. So Hitler, even himself, is a person. He's a personality. He has a personality. He has emotions. Even he has a compassion. He is a man of kindness, uh, and he doesn't have any character deficiency. He holds on to this dogmatic, rigid ideological theories and values. But why would it be illegal? Why would it be Kafkaesque and illegal and Orwellian to even hold on to or think of these kind of dangerous ideas, quote unquote dangerous ideas? What makes an idea dangerous? And then pretty soon we cannot even think of anything unless the thought police come and fucking take us away. See, I don't believe in hate crime. I believe in crime, and it was a big thing. It was like KFI Radio 640 in Southern California, those conservative radio show. They used to bring it up. Like, why would crime like this back in the day? So now it's like even accepted, like hate crime. Why is crime a hate? If someone hates someone because of something, that's their personal choice. All crimes are a hateful crime. It's almost a race crime, like hate crime, meaning like race, like hate someone because. But that's his prerogative. You don't have to force someone to like you. You don't have to force if a person of like a white person doesn't have to like me. I don't have to like a white person. Obviously now it's loaded because like if a white person hates me, that's considered more egregious if I hate a white person. But it depends who you're asking. So the point being, yeah, why is racism or like stereotypes, discrimination, why we can't even think about it? Why it's like all these social justice warrior people, they're trying to eradicate, they can't. Then that's the fallacy and the irony of it. The whole fucking joke is you can't eradicate evil, but utopia does not exist. The whole point of utopia is the byproduct of a utopia is there will be things that you cannot stomach, which are not palatable. That's why God allows everything like cannibalism or like fucking incest or rape, murder, genocide, hate crime, Holocaust, and Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Because if He were to not to allow these things, and it's very easy for me to say it, and philosophers are getting stoned and shit, but it's very palpable, and it comes down literally in our skin to our marrow, and bones and marrow. If God did not allow them, then it's like God is censoring himself, editing himself, or the reality, the universe, whatever you want to call it, consciousness. So consciousness is like infinite probability space where you have to allow everything. If you allow everything, then you will end up with unpalatable characters like Hitler and other people who society doesn't like, and which are obviously manifestations of torture. So it's like you cannot have. It's like God can think of any number, but you're telling God, oh, don't think of 13 because it offends me, or 666 offends me. No, I'm not saying what these crimes happen. It shouldn't offend me. It should, like, obviously, like, crimes are crimes. Yeah, I mean, if I ever happen to me, fuck yeah, I'm gonna get, like, if anything happened to me, and they are happening to us, to each other. Everyone's committing crime. A lady in front of me is able to jaywalk, but hey, that's the crime. It's like, at what point we cannot, we have seen recently, since the recent times, with big tech censoring YouTube and everything. Why is it we cannot? Why are ideas considered dangerous? Misinformation, because information has palpable value, like palpable repercussions and manifestation in the real world, where whatever you think becomes habits, and habits becomes actions. Literally. And because of social media nowadays, you can literally whisper something in your screen in a computer to Siri or like Google Assistant or whatever, and it can manifest almost literally. You're sculpting like a Pygmalion or George Bernard Shaw. You're literally like sculpting your like a statue, like it's almost like a Magritte's painting where you take a brush and you paint it, and you're forming out of thin air, you're making a sculpture. So having said that, going back to Hitler, these are my arguments. Hitler never committed, never killed anyone personally. He should. If I would be hard pressed to think how he would have actually been tried if he didn't commit suicide. Probably he'd be. Could he claim insanity? Would you be allowed in a mental institution, asylum? We think nowadays everything is mental health issues, but at what point we draw the line between evil and mental health people mentally? So are all criminals mentally deranged people? Is there was talk about how some people born with genetics of crime of evil. So if that's the case, it's like, should we edit these people out of our lives? If that starts happening, I mean, do you see how it? What if a genetic mutation occurs where babies that start born with the evil gene? We just start killing babies then. See how far. And that's why Alan Ward said it right. Goody goodies are thieves of virtue. People who try to do more good in the world, they are actually. I mean, crusade was done in the name of goodness, witchcraft, burning witchcraft, heretics, and exorcism. Fucking Christian missionaries converting to Christianity, people Christianity. All these are done in the name of goodness. But at what point it gets out of hand? Your Honor, my client is innocent. I find it constitutionally offensive that he is he is considered given guilty. Um, yeah, the fact that he should be tried is even a gross offense to our an injustice to our legal system. Speaking of which, Bill Cosby got out. So see, I don't know if he got out of technicality or he's really acquitted because they couldn't pin him down. Who knows? Again, that's the thing. Who knows what he really did? I have no opinion. I don't really give a shit. I don't even care. Like, I don't know what really happened. But with Hitler, there are so many, and that's another thing. We live in a century where we don't know what really happened. But we read all this. We look at these photos. We look at this. We go to children's books and libraries, and we hear this encyclopedias and the TV shows. But these are all programming, right? And all I did here was just explode your brain and ask you to question all this programming. In logic, and in logic, some red pill to swallow, huh? Or philosophy, rather. Philosophy red pill. Thank you.